Hey Meno Warriors, it's Kate and welcome back to my channel where you can expect weekly videos from me on a Monday where I talk about all things menopause, health related, fitness related, anxiety, mindset related. I'm an anxiety specialist, a psychotherapist, sports massage therapist, used to be a helicopter pilot, and now I'm an online health and fitness coach, and I am still a therapist. And today I'm actually going to be talking about taking action. I'm going to be using how we can employ our mindset to overcome some of the symptoms of menopause, because it's a bit of a contentious issue. I think so many of us know what we need to do, but so many of us don't take action. Why is that? What is it that holds you, me, us back? What is the difference between those who take the action and those who don't take the action? I think it's easy once you start, once you're actually on that journey, because you get feedback, you're feeling the results, you're seeing the results, you're noticing that your symptoms are reducing. But what happens when you're stuck in that, well, I know what I need to do, but I don't know what to do and how to start, or do I even want to start? And it's very easy to clothe this, what we see in our mind's eye, this massive thing that we've got to undertake in order to achieve where we want to go. Actually, it's not that hard. It's simple. And I'm going to break it down into a few key elements today. I'm going to focus on some of the main symptoms of menopause and how you can actually start to take baby steps towards improving your situation. Now, this is also going to be a bit like, well, hang on a minute, no excuses. If you want to reduce your symptoms, you are going to have to make a few changes. And it's not about being bossy. It's just about, I suppose, taking responsibility for your experience of the menopause, not in a horrible way, just in a way to give you ownership. It's your body. And there are so many things that we can do to make our symptoms so much better. Maybe it's because you don't have faith that those things are going to work. I can promise you they do. It works for me. It works for the thousands of ladies I have worked with who are going through the menopause, or they're perimenopausal, or the postmenopausal, and still getting, some symptoms. There are some things that across the board will help. Now, there are going to be some instances where you have to have HRT. I've been really lucky, I've not needed it, but I'm not anti-HRT. I can't talk about HRT with any knowledge or experience because it's something I have not done. But just know that I'm not anti-HRT. I think in some instances it's an absolute godsend. But there are, just because you're taking a medication or an asset, let's call it, in order to help you, doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing the lifestyle things as well to help further your improvement. So that's what I want to discuss today. If it's the first time you've come across me, hi, I'm Kate, and I just help instill belief in you that you can get through the menopause and beyond and absolutely thrive and have that energy and have that confidence in you as an individual, in your body, how you feel, your energy levels, in where you are at in your life, and just feel grounded rather than this discombobulating mess, which I was feeling as well a little while back. You can have it all, you can thrive, you can feel even better. And that's what I want for you. So I have a quote in front of me. I have to read it because I will not be able to remember it. Knowing is not enough. This is by Goethe, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. And that is the whole concept of today's Menopause Monday. It's a bit like when I take on new team members in my online health and fitness space. You can learn and learn and learn and learn, and you can be the person who knows everything, but until you take action, it's worth nothing. You could be the brainiest broke person in the cemetery. Until you take action on what you know, nothing is going to happen. And that is the foundation of today's Menopause Monday. Understand it, learn it, and then take action, and take messy action. Don't be the perfectionist. Don't wait until you know everything and you understand all the hormones, you understand what time of day, and you understand what portion size. Just start to take action, because you'll learn, you'll tweak. We're all unique. We all need slightly different shades of gray or pink. So just make sure that you're taking action, and then that feedback will help guide you further. And if if you're taking action, you're getting the feedback and you're not quite understanding what that's meaning, just message me. I'm here to help you. I spend most of my days helping people, whether that's within my fit community, as a therapist, or just people asking me questions and me answering them. I'm more than happy to do that. Please don't think you can't contact me and just say, hey, I have a quick question, could you answer it for me? I will be more than happy to do that. And Napoleon Hill quote, don't wait, the time will never be just right. He was quite clever, that Napoleon Hill. So let's have a little think. If you want to know what your health is going to look like in 3 years, look at the actions you're taking today. If you want to know what your wealth and your business and your career is going to look like in 3 years, take a look at the actions you're taking today. If you want to know how your relationships are going to be in 3 years, yeah, you guessed it, take a look at the actions that you're taking today, because those will predict your future. We are all a result of what we're doing now, the thoughts we're thinking, the stuff we're eating, the stuff we're drinking, the action that we're taking or not taking. And it's not about, if you don't take action, you're not just going to stay put, you're going to go backwards because everybody else is moving forwards. There is no static. That comfort zone is a complete load of baloney. You can be comfortable growing, and actually once you start to take action, you'll find that will take a lot of the anxiety away from you, because you'll feel proud of yourself. There is nothing nicer than going to bed thinking, yeah, I nailed it. Even if it's just a tiny thing. Yeah, I drank enough water. Whoop, whoop. Or I've got to bed earlier and I've turned off the rubbish on the television, the doom and gloom that's out there, and I'm prioritizing my sleep. Whoop, whoop. We have to do it. We have to be accountable to what we want to achieve. So I'm just going to break it down, and I also have a mass of free resources. I'm going to list them if you're watching this on YouTube, YouTube, I'm going to list them at the bottom. Listen, if you want to make sure you're getting free resources on a weekly basis, I send out a weekly newsletter. You're more than welcome to join that too. It's not a load of rubbish. It's literally, it's guidance, it's advice, it's always has some free information in it or free resources in it. I'll put a link down below for that as well. If you're watching this on Instagram, either click the link in my bio, I've got loads of free resources in there, or just message me and I'll send them to you. Or go and find this on YouTube, even easier. So first of all, sleep. Sleep really is the cornerstone of our good health for everything: mental health, energy levels, physical health, and how much we eat, how much we want to eat, how much control we have over our hunger hormones the next day. Because when our sleep is bad, it basically F's up everything else. And yes, you might be saying, well, that's easy for you to say. I struggle with sleep too sometimes, but at least I know when I'm practicing good sleep hygiene, so I'm taking the actions to maximize the amount of sleep I'm getting, at least I'm doing something towards improving it. I slept well last night. I slept really badly the night before. Please don't think I'm exonerated from any of these symptoms. I struggle with them too myself, and I get the busy brain, but then I take action on the thing. So yeah, I will also share some of that with you while I'm going through this. So my first tip is to get early ultraviolet on your skin, ideally within the first 30 minutes of waking up. It doesn't have to be for a long period of time. I know we're all really busy, and if you have to get out to work, it's going to be tricky. And in the winter months, you might be going out to work in the dark, you might be getting back in the dark. In that instance, make sure you go outside and you have a cup of tea or a glass of water, or you take a stroll at lunchtime to get some ultraviolet on your skin. Ultraviolet or daylight is so important for us to regulate our sleep hormones and our waking hormones. And the earlier you can get out into the daylight, the better it will have an impact on your sleep pattern. In the morning, I tend to let the dogs out, and then I sit outside and I have a pint of apple cider vinegar and water, or some kombucha, and I just spend a few minutes outside. And that kickstarts my day. But you'll have to find something that works best for you. I'm not going to go through the entire sleep hygiene guide that I have got as a free resource. You can click that down below. But the common ones are avoid caffeine after 2 p.m. In fact, that you're going to listen to this, and a bit further down it says cut out caffeine. So if you can cut out caffeine, entirely up to you, but depending on the symptoms that you're having. If you're struggling with sleep, cut it out. Let's see how it goes. Cut out sugars. Let's see refined sugars. Fruit, great. People say, oh, should I eat fruit? It's got sugar in. Yes, eat fruit. It's got fiber and loads of vitamins and minerals and other good stuff in it as well. Make sure that you're not looking at screens late at night. Make sure you're not doing high intensity workouts within 3 hours of going to bed. Some people will be able to look at screens. Some people will be able to drink caffeine. Some people will be able to do high intensity workouts before sleep. There is not a one size fits all approach, but for the majority of us, these things do have a negative impact. But I think the most important thing is you get some daylight on your skin as early as you can during the day. Next one is anxiety. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm an anxiety coach, I'm a psychotherapist, but I specialize in anxiety, particularly for teenagers in actual fact. Now we're going back to caffeine again, and caffeine is something I cut out, even though I adore coffee, and coffee is actually really full of antioxidants. It's pretty good for us, so as long as we don't overdo it. Because I have an impending house move, which has happened way faster than I thought it was going to. Literally, it's just like I pretty much bought a house in an afternoon. It's a beautiful house, but the logistics of it, moving like from one far end of the country to the next, is just like, ah, and I'm single, and it's just like, scary. Never mind. So I am literally pruning the stuff that can make you feel more anxious, and caffeine is one of those. So if you say to me, oh, I couldn't do without my early morning coffee or my coffee, it's just like, well, but you're telling me you're struggling with anxiety, so you know the answer, cut the coffee. Same with alcohol. I know we get to the end of the day, I love drinking too. At the moment I'm teetotal. I promise you, I love wine, beer, whiskey. I love going out. I love socializing. I like a good cocktail. I really enjoy drinking. And I'm not doing it at the moment because alcohol has a depressive effect. Now, I know the first 1 or 2 or 3, you might be thinking, oh no, it makes you feel really bubbly. And, you know, I like that feeling when I feel, but it has a negative impact on your sleep. And the day after, alcohol does have a depressive effect on us. Whether you're drinking a lot or if you're drinking a lot, it's going to have more of a depressive effect on you. But whatever you're drinking, it's gonna put a little bit of a darker cloud over you the next day. So if you're struggling with anxiety, instead of numbing your emotions, and often it's a change of state. I know when I have a glass of Prosecco or something, often it's because I feel like I just want to taste something different. I'm sick of tea, coffee, or water through the day. And I just want to change. So I started brewing my own kombucha. Now, kombucha does have trace amounts of alcohol, but hardly anything. And it's amazing for gut health. But for me, it's slightly effervescent. So at the end of the day, I have kombucha in the morning and I have a kombucha in the evening. And I have that along with sparkling water. So I think if you're cutting out something that you love, you need to replace it with something that you can grow to love. And if you're really struggling with cutting out the booze and cutting out the coffee, this is a technique that I do use with some of my my clients. Just visualize the alcoholic drink, say for instance the beer or the wine, in a dusty corner far away. It's dusty, it's dark, it looks grimy. You could even stick some maggots in the picture. And then the feeling of let myself down, you know, I had another drink of alcohol and I didn't want to. Put those emotions in that picture, and then that picture is there, and you just kind of sort of leave it in the dusky recesses of your mind's eye. And then close up, you've got this beautiful glass of whatever it is that you can drink, a mocktail, sparkling water, kombucha, whatever it might be. I wouldn't go for sodas. Sodas are loaded with sugar and they are no good either. So you're going to have to find a healthier alternative. But see it bright up, see it light and bright and really crisp, and associate your feelings of being proud of yourself that you didn't have that drink of alcohol, that you managed to stay healthy, and you're going to sleep better. You're going to feel proud of yourself. But when you go to bed, you're going to feel proud of yourself when you wake up in the morning. You're going to feel better in the morning. You're going to feel more focused and productive. If you drink a lot, you might have 5 days when you're a bit sort of headachy and you're feeling a bit like sluggish, and you might have a few joint pains. But know that after that 5-day period, your body will be detoxed from that alcohol. So then you'll start to, reap the benefits of that. Another thing that I say for people with anxiety is, again, to take action. There's a great book by Brian Tracy called Eat That Frog. It will help you overcome procrastination and essentially get the thing that you're dreading doing the most that day off the list first, because it frees up your activity, it frees up your energy. So when I sit down to work, I always do the thing in my working day that I dislike the most, because then it's out of the way and it's done. And then the other stuff's quite fun to do. And also in the morning, we tend to have more energy. We tend to have more motivation. Don't know about you, as the day goes on, it's just like, can't be bothered, I'll leave it till tomorrow. If you get it done first, it's out of the way and you've done it. Same with, in fact, no, I'll get onto exercise afterwards. Affirmations. These are, I think, a more effective version of affirmations. I've been talking about them loads in my social media recently. I invested in a course earlier on in the year, and it's not my idea. It's a guy called Noah St. John. He's got loads of stuff out there, but I invested in his course, and I've been using these affirmations since pretty much my house, the offer on the house got accepted, because I could just feel the anxiety rising, and it was just, and my brain fog was crazy, and it was just like, oh my God, how am I going to manage all this? And it almost feel like sensations of panic rising. And so I started these affirmations, and I listened to them. I recorded them. So I literally got my voice recorder on my phone. I put some nice music on with YouTube, some binaural beats. It's a beautiful background sound. And I wrote out my affirmations, and I said them to my phone near to the speaker that I could, so it's got the beautiful music with it too. And I listen to these affirmations day and night. And if I wake up in the early hours, I listen to them again. And then in the morning, I listen to them, I write 3 or 4 out, maybe between 3 and 6. And each one I write 3 or 4 times, and then I say it out loud, and I try and really experience how it feels, the affirmation, how it feels. And one might, like simple today, I think I used was, why am I so calm? Why am I so calm? And it makes me think, okay, why am I so calm? Even though I'm not really feeling very calm. But it's because I'm setting up systems. I'm quite capable of making this move. I'm quite capable of running my businesses. I'm quite capable of doing this kind of stuff. And I just need to sort of break it down into bite-sized pieces rather than looking at the complete chaos, because I actually want to restore my antique furniture before I move as well. I've got literally so much stuff to do. It's just bonkers. But by saying, why am I so calm? It actually makes me feel calm. It's really grounding. So if you'll message me if you want that affirmations guide. I haven't created a link that automatically gives it to you, so you'll have to message me for that. Loads of people have asked me for it already, so don't hold back in asking me for it. I'll just send it out to you. Obviously I've gone over alcohol. Taking action, so that goes back to sort of eat that frog. When you take messy action, it just empowers you to continue taking action, but it really gives you a sense of achievement. And sometimes we just don't know quite what that action might be. Just do what you think might get you nearer to where you need to be. It might be 10 minutes of reading a book that is, has got a title around something that you're struggling with. I read personal development every single day, or listen to personal development every single day. We can never ever assume that we've learned enough. There is always something more to learn. So if you're really struggling with one aspect in life, whatever that might be, do some personal development on it. There are loads of podcasts out there too. If you don't want to buy a book or an audio book, there are so many podcasts out there. So, get Googling, have a look for stuff, because there are so many free resources that you could use to really give you a sense of motivation and also empowerment. For anxiety, it's also really important that we manage our stress levels. We can't cut stress out. Stress is always going to be around us. But how we manage it and how we react to stress is what will make the difference between us not getting downbeat by it or us riding that wave. And that is, again, prioritizing your sleep. You might be lacking in B vitamins. B vitamins are really important for the nervous system. So have a look at your health shop. Go and ask for a really comprehensive set of B vitamins. And I would take them and see if you notice a difference. Give it a couple of weeks and see if you notice a difference. If you don't, then maybe you're not lacking in B vitamins. But if you do notice a difference, then maybe that's something you need to either eat more of or, you know, a supplement for yourself. Magnesium rich foods are also very important for managing stress. Magnesium helps to calm us. If you've heard of Epsom salts, so sort of Epsom salt bath, Epsom salts are essentially very high in magnesium, and as well as being a muscle relaxant, so if you have sore muscles after like a workout, an Epsom salt bath is really going to help you. But foods high in magnesium are also going to help to calm you down. And the great thing is, dark chocolate is really high in magnesium. Dark chocolate, though, it has to be about 75% cocoa solids plus, so not the milk chocolate, I'm afraid. And if you don't like dark chocolate, start just eating a small amount. Your taste buds will get used to it eventually. I used to love the 75%. Now I'm a diehard fan of the 85%. I love the stuff, and I normally have a square of it or a couple of small squares before bedtime. You don't want to eat too much chocolate, actually, because some of it, or quite a lot of it contains trace amounts of caffeine as well. So you do need to be careful not to overdo the chocolate, but you can have a little chocolate treat at the end of the day if you like something sweet after your meal. And then adaptogen herbs. Now, these are something, again, I talk about a lot. They are so powerful. I have a daily shake, and I have a combination of 8 of them. If I can remember off the top, there's cordyceps, ashwagandha, you've probably heard of ashwagandha, and maca. So cordyceps, ashwagandha, maca, astragalus, nightshade, reishi, chaga, and there's always one that I can't remember. It'll come, chisandra. And I take those along with digestive enzymes, because digestive enzymes, good gut health is vital for good mental health. 90% of serotonin, one of our happy hormones, is created in the gut, not in the brain. 50% of our dopamine, another of our happy hormones, is created in the gut, not in the brain. So it's really important that we're looking after our gut health, not just to prevent bloating and to avoid constipation and the sort of aggravation of an irritable bowel, but for our mental health. And while we're talking about managing stress and anxiety, gut health is something that you can really prioritize by just making sure you're eating food as fuel. I'll come on to that in a minute, I'll come on to that in a minute. But going back to the adaptogen herbs mix that I take, it has helped people combat their depression. It's anti-inflammatory too. So if you've got like rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, if you've got, I'm trying to think of all the other things, help IBS, Crohn's, diverticulitis. I've got so many testimonials from people that have literally, they swear by this stuff. I know when I had my double bunionectomy surgery, I wasn't allowed to have it for the week before. They just didn't want me to have something that had, you know, adaptogen herbs and stuff in, just in case it interfered with the drugs. I don't know how it would have done, but anyway, I did as I was told. And I noticed within like 2 days, it was just like, ugh. I felt more fatigued. I felt more antsy. I just felt lower. I felt like I was trudging through treacle. So yeah, I absolutely swear by them. If you want any information on them, just let me know. And so magnesium rich foods are chocolate. We've got avocado. I love avocado. Nuts, seeds, nuts, particularly Brazil's walnuts and cashew nuts, leafy greens, tofu, legumes, so things like chickpeas, lentils, buckwheat's good, quinoa, fatty fish, bananas. I think those are the sort of principal. And did I mention cashew nuts? I think I mentioned cashew nuts. But yeah, those are all high in magnesium. So if you can eat an evening meal that's got some lentils in, or chickpeas, lots of leafy greens, maybe with some whole grains, maybe some quinoa, an avocado, and then finish it off with some grated dark chocolate over a small piece of banana. Now that sounds nice, with maybe a blob of almond butter on. Now you're talking. So now I'm going to move on to hot flushes. And hot flushes largely come from what we eat and drink. I've got hair on my eyelash, which is really bugging me. So I would suggest you track your food if you're really struggling with hot flushes, because you'll find, it's highly likely that you'll find that you're eating or drinking something, and then shortly after you've got this bang hot flush. It's not going to stop the hot flush that you get first thing in the morning. That's related largely to cortisol. In fact, it's all related to cortisol. But when we wake up in the morning, we have like a spike of cortisol because it's a motivation thing. That's what the body does to help us get out of bed. And as the day goes on, our cortisol levels technically should get less, which is why we don't want to be working out late at night, because we could be spiking that adrenaline again. And that's when our melatonin, as the day goes on, the whole point of having the ultraviolet early in the morning is to stimulate the glands so that by the end of the day, our melatonin is rising, our cortisol is going down, and melatonin is our sleepy hormone. It's also serotonin is our precursor to melatonin. And if you recall, I mentioned serotonin in the gut health. Gut health will help you sleep better too. So it's all interrelated. It's just like a big jigsaw puzzle. It's amazing. So yes, hot flushes they can be triggered by alcohol, they can be triggered by caffeine, they can be triggered by spices, they can be triggered, although spices are very good for us, they can be triggered by refined sugars, be aware of that, and also processed foods. I would suggest you track your food and just literally have a diary, and when you have a hot flush, think, okay, what was I drinking or eating just before then? And you'll work out what are the trigger foods and drinks for you. I've mentioned that alcohol is a depressive and it negatively affects your sleep. It also makes you look more puffy and bloated. And when you come off alcohol, you might find, because you're sleeping more deeply, you might think, so I always joke that when I come off alcohol, I look even worse because I get more bags under my eyes. But generally that's because I think I'm resting better, and eventually that goes. And then all of a sudden it's just like, oh no, you look more alive again today. You've obviously got that out of your system. So you might have to hang in there for a few days while sort of the body regulates itself. But you will end up feeling brighter. You'll be looking brighter. You'll lose weight. You could. I mean, I think you can notice it a lot in a person's face if they're a heavy drinker. But you'll also lose. Your belly will definitely go down if you cut out alcohol, but make sure you don't replace it with the sodas because they're high in sugar and they're just full of rubbish. So make sure you're drinking lots and lots of water. Water is going to be cleansing on every level anyway. We should all be drinking loads of water every day. The next one is brings me on to belly fat and weight gain. Belly fat is largely stress related. Going back to the whole stress hormone cortisol, we have 4 times the amount of cortisol receptors around our belly. So when we're stressed, it goes straight onto our belly. That's why the adaptogen herbs that I drink in that daily shake are great at keeping belly fat off, because they help us regulate our hormones, particularly cortisol. So I do consider it I call it my secret menopause ninja weapon, but it's also really, really good for keeping belly fat off, just because it's regulating those stress hormones. You also, if you're not exercising, you probably need to stop. You do need, everybody needs to know probably about it. We need to exercise. We need to move our bodies. As we're going through menopause, we have a higher risk of brittle bone disease. Our muscles will actually atrophy, so they'll get less and weaker. So we need exercise. We need strength training exercise, because that's going to strengthen the bones. As the muscles get stronger, they're pulling on the bones, and that helps the bones to get stronger too. We're using gravity with weight bearing exercises. Exercise is an absolute no-brainer. If you want to go through menopause and feel healthy and strong and have energy, you need exercise. Exercise actually fuels the mitochondria, the little powerhouses in our cells. So again, this is one of those things that, I don't know if I can be motivated to do exercise. Well, then just stay fatigued and stay with the weight gain and stay feeling yuck, because it is a choice at the end of the day. All of these things I'm suggesting to you, you can say, but I don't know. Well, okay, you can give me all the yes buts in the world, but you're still going to stay with the symptoms until you actually start to take action on these things. It's so important. And you don't have to do everything overnight. You don't have to take like every single one of these things that I've suggested. Start with one, baby steps. And then when you've got that down well, move on to another. If I could advise you to do anything, I would incorporate exercise in straight away. I'd incorporate adaptogen herbs in straight away. I'd incorporate sleep hygiene in straight away, because those 3 things are going to help you with all of the other bits and pieces. They're going to help you sleep better. They're going to help you manage your stress better. They're going to help keep the weight down. They're going to give you energy. And when you're feeling more empowered, you make more sensible food choices as well. Belly fat is also what we eat. But I'm not talking about restriction or calorie counting, because calorie counting is just a pain in the ass. And actually, it's just stupid, because a donut has more calories than an avocado, but a donut will put your body into stress and make you hang on to fat. An avocado, obviously, if you eat lots of avocados, they will make you fat, but it's not going to put your body in that stressed out situation, because you're feeding it with healthy fats that the body actually needs, as well as magnesium and other vitamins and minerals and fiber that avocados are full of. So calorie counting it's just stupid. I can't even understand why there are systems based upon calorie counting. And yes, you might have been a member of one of those places. It's because they're restricting your calories, and anyone who has a calorie restriction will lose weight. But are you going to keep it off and maintain it long term? Restriction doesn't work. We have to use food as fuel. We have to replace the rubbish with better stuff. And when you replace the rubbish with better stuff, you'll eat less food, because the stuff that you're eating is higher in fiber, it's more nutritious. Your body's starving on the rubbish stuff because you're not giving it any nutrition. So it's making you eat all the time, as well as you cocking up your blood sugar levels and giving yourself fatty liver disease, etc. When you use food as fuel, and it doesn't have to be boring. Food is amazing. Just make a few different choices. Add more vegetables, add more fruit, eat lean protein regularly, eat the healthy fats, because calorie counting, deprivation, restriction, long-term, it just doesn't work. It has to be a sustainable thing. It has to be something that fills you with energy and also helps your gut health, which helps your mental health. So just be aware of that. Brain fog. Again, when you prioritize your sleep, when you cut out the rubbish, when you are drinking plenty of water, when you are prioritizing your sleep, that helps to combat brain fog to a degree. I'm doing all those things, I still get brain fog. So I've also set up systems to help me overcome the brain fog. So I've got my written diary, I have my phone with reminders on, and I have my Google Calendar that pings up appointments at me to remind me of calls and trainings and things like that I've got to do. So I set up this situation, which then stops me worrying about it, because I know that, you know, half an hour before something's due to happen, I get a ping. It's just like, great, that's fine. I don't even have to worry about forgetting it, because it's there, it's done, and then it'll remind me again 5 minutes beforehand. So set yourself up. Don't rely just for the chaos to sort of, oh, I might forget that, but I'll probably remember that one. Just set systems up that are going to support you. I use Trello. I talk about Trello a lot. It's a free app. I've got a whole Trello tutorial series on my YouTube. I swear by Trello. If Trello goes away, I have no idea what I'm going to do, because I run my businesses on it. I manage my life on it. My house hunting board I have on Trello. My lifestyle board I have on Trello. I have Christmas lists and birthday lists. I have recipes. My entire business for my fitness community is on Trello. My psychotherapy business is on Trello. Everything is on Trello. And it's brilliant. It is, especially if you're a visual person. I would definitely invest a bit of time just going through the tutorials that I've put up there. Some of them are more advanced. You just need the basic ones to get yourself started. And then as you take action and learn, you know, you start using Trello, you'll find that then you'll think, oh, how do I use the labels, or how do I filter? Go back into the YouTube and do a search on my YouTube Trello tutorials for Trello filter, and you'll find it, you know, all that sort of thing. Honestly, it's brilliant. I would be so broken if I didn't have Trello. So fatigue and lack of energy, I've sort of covered this again already. Rather, exercise. You might think, but I haven't got energy to exercise. That's why you need to exercise. You need to exercise. You need to do it first thing in the morning. If you get up early, you need to get up earlier and go to bed earlier. That's what we all did. So I don't have to do that now, but I did in the early days. If I had to get up, if I had to be somewhere by 4:30, I would be doing my workout at 4. If I had to be out the house by 5, I'd be doing my workout at 4:30. And it doesn't take long. We don't need to be doing masses of cardio, long training sessions. 25 to 30 minutes. Most of my workouts these days are between 20 and 28 minutes long, and they get amazing results. So yeah, and food is fuel. and prioritize your sleep, because prioritizing your sleep is incredibly important. So today, the resources below are going to be the daily wellness tracker. The daily wellness tracker pretty much goes over everything. So did you eat your veggies? Have you had a poop? How much have you had the amount of water that you need? Have you done your exercise? That kind of thing. So if you want that wellness tracker, just either click the link for it or message me. The healthy sleeping habits guide, that goes into all my sort of top tips and advice over setting yourself up for a healthy night's sleep. Deep breathing. Now, I didn't really go into this in any detail, but it's something I'm going to offer as a resource. Deep breathing is great for stress management. Oops, I went out of focus there. Ooh. If you're lying awake at night, one of the best things that you can do is deep breathe, and it's called box breathing. So maybe I'll do it with you now. You can breathe in for ease. We'll do 4, 4, 4, 4. So breathe in for 4 through your nose. Hold it for 4. Breathe out for 4 through your mouth. Hold out for 4. Breathe in for 4. And so it goes on. I normally, when I'm box breathing, I do sort of for 6 or for 8. You just do a few rotations of that, and it's going to calm your nervous system down so much. Or you can just do long, slow, deep breathing in through your mouth, through your nose, hold it for as long as you can, and then breathe slowly out through your mouth as slowly as you can. And then again, breathe in through your nose as slowly as you can, hold it for as long as you can at the top, really fill everything up, and then, but really push it all out, and then breathe in. And that will also really calm your nervous system. I know I'm making you laugh about it because it's just, I think it always looks so funny when people do deep breathing. It's just like, it's kind of strange, but it does work really, really well. And then if you want to get the weekly free resources that I send out every week, hop onto my newsletter. You can unsubscribe if you think it's a load of bunkum. I try and make sure it's not, because I get lots of newsletters and most of them are absolute rubbish. There's a couple that I do watch, and they always give me stuff, or mainly give me stuff that I enjoy reading, and that's great. But you can unsubscribe if you don't want to continue with it. I don't go through my list every week saying, oh my God, she's unsubscribed or he's unsubscribed. Most importantly, take action. So decide on one of the things or 2 of the things that I've gone over to today and start to take action on them. And when you've got that habit nicely ingrained, add another habit into your daily rhythm until you start to take action and responsibility. I sound like a teacher. There's nothing against teachers. I've had some amazing teachers, but for how you're feeling, nothing will change. So I hope that's been helpful for you. If you've got any questions, just message me. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Thank you for your company. I know it's been a bit of a longer one, this one. If you've got anything you'd like me to cover in a future Menopause Monday, just message me. Even if it's something that I've covered previously, but you've got a specific question around it, message me and I will do a tutorial around that particular question. Because if you've got that question, you can bet your bottom dollar loads of other people have got that question too. So hit the subscribe button if you've not done already, so that you don't miss out on future episodes. Please give it a thumbs up. And if you're watching this on social media, give me a follow, please. I'd really appreciate it. Have a great week. Stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.